Hi all, I have asked probably everyone I know what to do here, and I get different answers all the time. I'm sure this will be no different here, lol, but I would at least like some outside perspective. Context. This friend has been in my life since we were 2 years old at the same daycare. Our moms even both worked there too. We ended up being best friends all through high school and even dated twins. She married hers, I did not. Thank God. We used to write the most insanely long notes to each other, like filling notebooks back and forth. We would hang out every Friday with her BF and our mutual friend, and just do stupid suburb shit like walk around Walmart and be silly or watch movies. When she got married, I was her maid of honor, and I always expected that she would be mine. This leads up to currently, where I, 28F, am planning a wedding for this upcoming spring, and she, 27F, will be having her first child in February. Now, for some more details, bear with me. My friend was an only child until she was 18 when her mother had two more children with her new husband. My friend loves her brothers, but I can imagine the shift from only child to oldest sibling was not easy. I recognize now, after reflecting on the current status of our friendship, that she has always had some level of only child syndrome. Looking back, I can remember some times where there was some clear, immature responses to not getting her way. This remains the case now. We did have a brief period of fighting when we were dating the twins. Anyone surprised? But we reconciled. There was also a month-long break between her and her boyfriend, now husband. She's only ever been with him because she thought she had feelings for someone else. That was ironically a bit of a love triangle of sorts because her crush had feelings for me, and I did not reciprocate them. Anyway, this caused some extra closeness between us as I tried to support her through the break and encourage her to follow her heart. During this time, she invited me on a family trip that her boyfriend was supposed to go on with her, so I was essentially the replacement. I mention this because since then, I have been invited on just one other trip with her family, and that was with my fiancé a few years ago. I speculate now that our invite was less because our company was desired and more to lower the cost for everyone by splitting with two extra people, but this is purely speculation and biased at that. What is currently bringing up all my feelings on this and making me considering having a deep conversation with her about how I feel our friendship is one-sided are a few things. I asked her to be my maid of honor, but in my heart it felt like obligation. I wanted it to be my very best friend that I would consider a second soul mate. I chose my oldest friend because she chose me, and I know she has a lot of experience planning events and would do a great job at that versus my bestie, who is not as well versed in that area. I did feel guilty about this choice and eventually made a change to the party because the day I asked my friend to be MOH, she revealed to me that she is pregnant. Now, she has been trying to get pregnant for about 4 years with many complications, so this was very awesome news to hear. I was so happy for her, and she asked me to be the godmother too, not like the religious one but the one who promises to take care of the children if something happens to parents. She accepted my MOH proposal at that time, knowing the responsibilities it entails. I rarely see this friend. I consistently try to make plans with her, include her in group plans, etc., but she almost always is already busy with something or will cancel last minute. And listen, I understand that feeling of dread when you don't want to hang out. But she isn't upfront with me. She tells me that suddenly her mom needs her to watch her little brothers or some other excuse. This is also speculation. I suppose her mom could very well have asked her to do this. But my next complaint is, why does she not tell her mom that she already has plans and can't babysit? Her family is huge, and there are plenty of people who could fulfill that request. I am always the one who gets dropped for everyone else. My friend had a casual gender reveal party/group birthday celebration over the summer with her whole family. I didn't mention that I am very close with her family, and they have always made me feel like a member. However, she didn't invite me to this party. Well, she did eventually the day or two before, and her text said, "My mom asked me to invite you to this," which made me sob. Why wouldn't she want me there if I'm supposed to be her godmother? I'm tearing up typing this now. This part was a real eye-opener for me after already compounding feelings about our friendship. I did go to this party, and even more things upset me there. After she did the reveal, the subject of the baby shower came up. I was excited to help her plan and said it's perfect that I can help her with her baby shower and she can help me with my bridal shower, to which she replies, "Well, I don't really know how much help I'll be." I was just kind of shocked because while I know pregnancy is horrible sometimes, and in her case it has been quite horrible, I didn't expect to receive zero help from her. No ideas, no suggestions, no offer to contribute towards decorations or food or anything. And she didn't ask me to help her with the baby shower either, which also bummed me out. So, because she immediately opted out of helping with my wedding, I felt even worse about my decision to make her MOH. I ended up giving her matron of honor title and made my best friend maid of honor, so as not to rock the boat but also honor the person I truly feel is my ride or die. Despite opting out of helping with my wedding, she is still going on my bachelorette trip while 6 months pregnant. As far as I've been told or seen myself, she has not helped plan this either. And because of how horrible her pregnancy has been, gestational diabetes, extreme nausea all the time, etc., I selfishly fear that the trip will end up being all about her comfort. I don't want her to have a bad time, but it bothers me that she is somehow too pregnant and too sick to help plan anything, but she is perfectly capable of doing the fun stuff. All of this just leads me to believe that she just doesn't really want me involved in her life. She rarely initiates hanging out unless it's a pre-planned family activity or a holiday. She doesn't participate in our larger friend group chats or activities. She doesn't talk to me very often besides our snap streak or, frankly, to complain about various things like her in-laws or the pregnancy. And I am always so supportive. Regardless of my feelings, I can't bring myself to distance myself or not offer my love when she needs it. But it's not reciprocated at all. When my dog died a few years ago, I was absolutely torn apart with grief. I got a very generic, "I'm so sorry. Let me know if I can do anything for you." When I got skin cancer, nothing crazy but still scary to happen for the first time, I barely got a response besides, "Oh no, that really sucks." Often when she posts something on her Snap story, I will slide up to talk about it, but the same is not done for me. Overall, I just don't really feel like she even wants me to be her friend. She refers to me as her best friend, but I wonder if she too says it out of obligation. Frankly, I didn't even allow myself to see or feel all of this until the bulleted events occurred. It led me to reflect on our whole friendship, how I was a placeholder when her boyfriend/husband wasn't available, how I was always initiating the contact or hangouts, how situations always seemed to get flipped to be focused on her, how disengaged and uninterested she seems when responding to my own stories or problems, etc. It all just makes me fucking sad. I also want to add that while I was her maid of honor, we were just barrel T21, I was super broke in college while also dealing with an abusive parent, an abusive boyfriend, and general depression. I wasn't able to plan her bridal shower, so her sister-in-law, who she does not like and complains about all the time, planned that, and I planned and paid for her casual bachelorette party. We had wine, charcuterie, and did a homemade paint and sip of sorts. She told me it was so much fun, and her SIL didn't even show up to that. Because of this, I felt like I needed to give her some grace, since I wasn't able to step up to all the responsibilities of MOH. But the difference here is we are grown adults, and as I mentioned before, she somehow is capable of the fun stuff, but not the responsibility. She did come along for picking my dress, but was generally quiet with little input, and during dinner we ended up talking a lot about her. One last thing that sticks with me is what she said to me during her wedding planning. I expressed to her that I felt terribly not being able to do very much for the bridal shower, and she reassured me that it was okay. In fact, her SIL made a snarky comment about how since she planned the bridal shower, SHE should be MOH. My friend told her that she chose me because if she wasn't marrying her partner, she would want to marry me. At the time, I think I felt more on the same page with her, but now I definitely do not. I may have forgotten some important detail here or there, so I am happy to clear anything up. But all this being said, will I be the asshole if I bring all this up to her before she gives birth and before I get married? Or do I risk harboring even more resentment until after these huge moments in our lives? Will I be the asshole for keeping it inside until then? Sorry, this is a whole novel, lol. I want it to be detailed.